Hey out there, good morning. So I had a friend of mine ask me to do a little tour of Keyport. So I'm going to get in my car and I'm going to go take a look at a couple businesses and the waterfront over there and make a little tour of Keyport. So if someone out there is not familiar with Keyport, let me give you a little tour. I grew up in Union Beach, but went to Keyport High School and hung around in Keyport, so it's like home away from home for me. But this person lives in the Midwest. He's not familiar with the Raritin Bay or the ocean and stuff. Well, before I take you for a tour, one of my least favorite things to do with the business that I'm in, real estate investing, is paperwork. I'm not that organized and I just don't like it. So like yesterday I made a video about 7 hours in a day of a flipper. But really, I came home and then did some paperwork. What kind of paperwork? Thanks for asking. One of them was one of the tenants have to get recertified. They're in Section 8 housing, so I had to fill out paperwork, send over a bunch of new forms. What else did I do? I had to see about a refinance that we're doing. I had to provide some documentation with that. So all that kind of stuff, I'm not a big fan of. Yes, I have to organize my office. Check out what I want to make a video about one of these days, is the median net worth of homeowners versus renters. And this came from CNBC last month. So homeowners, the average or median net worth is $255,000 compared to renters is $6,300. That's unbelievable. So like when people are on the fence about whether or not to buy a house, that statistic in itself should show you forced savings in the form of like equity growth as well as paying down a mortgage. It pays off. So if you're on the fence, go out there and buy a house. Well, what's net worth? And then I want to make sure I put this down. And I never ever want to treat anybody as if they're not smart. But a lot of people don't know what net worth is. It's assets minus liabilities. If you were to ask Diane, she would say, "You're obsessed with real estate." Maybe I am. I have a good time doing it. Well, I try to have a good time doing it. So let me go take you for a tour of Keyport. I want to talk about a small town business that thrives. You're looking at it, Keyport Fishery. I remember going there when I was a kid. We still go there every once in a while, Diane and I. They prepare fish and, shrimp and scallops and all that kind of stuff simply by breading it and frying it. I think you can get broiled, but if you go in there and you get broiled, I don't know if they'll let you come back in. I'm not like a food critic. However, I am saying, if you're within 100 miles, come here and get some seafood. It's amazing. I'm not saying this critically, okay? So I love Keyport Fishery. I love it just the way it is. But I do, with my business mind, I do say to myself, how did they not come up with another place? Like, this place is like, booming. They only take cash. If you're too cranky or you don't order it the right way, they could kick you out, like the soup Nazi on Seinfeld. It's that popular. It's that awesome. Why didn't one of the owners or someone in there say, you know what, let's get Keyport Fishery 2, like 5 miles from here? I don't know. That's probably something I would have done. Those condos are relatively new. I'm going to say maybe 10, 15 years ago they were built. And this is the view that they have. Not bad, right? That's a huge porta potty, right? Like a whole family can go in there at one time. Not that I like going into the bathroom with my whole family. I'm just saying, it's huge. Little hot dog stand, selling some Sabrett hot dogs over there. Makes me think. I think I got my entrepreneurial spirit from my parents. They had a hot dog wagon when I was a kid, like real little. Like when I was 5 or 6. Think to myself, like, I had a lot of stuff happening to me when I was 5 or 6. Every time a memory comes up, it was like, hey, I was 5 or 6. I could have been 3, I could have been 4. All I know is that they used to sell hot dogs out of a Volkswagen van that was converted into a hot dog place, hot dog cart on the side of the highway. So they'd work their 40 hours each week and then do that on the weekends. Got to give my parents some credit, right? I know that this is not politically correct, but when I was a kid, this was called San Juan Hill. I think a lot of people from Puerto Rico used to live on this hill. McDonough's used to be, I forget what McDonald's used to be, but anyway, it's pretty popular now, especially in the summer. See that blue house? I put an offer in on that house when I got outbid. I wish I would have got it. This diner right here, Broad Street Diner, I think it's called, got all kinds of rave reviews. It's awesome. Tell me if you ever thought this way, but I've always had this inclination that it would be really cool to live in a church. That means the church has to go out of business, and then I have to buy it, and then I can live in it, so maybe it's got like bad juju in there, but you know what I mean. Like, it would be pretty cool to live in that church. This place doesn't look like a business, but it used to be an alcohol and drug rehab. It was called the Endeavor House, and for many years, lots of people went through that house. Check out the view it has. It's a Raritin Bay, it's Keyport down there. You know, I think on a clear day you could see Manhattan. How does an alcohol and drug rehab center go out of business? I don't know. I used to work there. Probably, I don't know, over 15 years ago. I was the manager. People would come in. I think it could house like maybe 15 people. So 15 people would come in, and then they would run different classes and meetings, and they would meet with therapists and stuff like that. And it really helped a lot of people. The original owner sold out to a corporation that I think started to dabble with medical maintenance programs for like opioid and heroin addiction. They got into Suboxone and methadone and stuff like that, and that might have been their downfall. I'm not sure. If you're from this area, you do not call that Smith's liquor store. You call it Smitty's. Funny story. It's one of the first places I got served when I was like 18. Here's how I got served. So I'm 18, you gotta be 21 in case you didn't know. And I put a towel on, and that's all I put on. Like as if I just got out of the shower. No shirt, just flip-flops and a towel. And my thought process was, they can't ask me for ID, and if they do, I'm gonna say, hey, I just got out of the shower. Sounds crazy, right? It worked. So I was 18, 35 years ago. Ah! This is a street that runs along the Raritin Bay here in Keyport. This did not look like this when I was a kid. So you got Manhattan over there, Raritin Bay back there. There's Cliffwood over there. And then you got downtown Keyport up there. This used to be a dirt parking lot. It looks so much nicer now. I used to go out on that boat when I was a kid with my dad. I got these pumpkins from the pumpkin patch outside. They grew from one single pumpkin disintegrating after last year's wedding of my stepson and his new bride. And without any kind of like fuss or anything else, I must have gotten at least 10 or 12 pumpkins. So anybody out there that wasn't familiar with Keyport and now likes the little tour, come on and visit, huh? We don't bite most of the time.